This is episode 93 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and today I get to take the back seat and I get to criticise with no consequence.
Yes, this week we have got a game that I played last night down at Tabletop Workshop in Truro against Chris Burnett. I am continuing my Imperial list. I've pretty much got it settled now. With Boy Vader, Boy Backstabber, Boy Mauler, Moff Gideon with Elusive Overtuned and Cloaking Device, and Faroff with Seventh Sister. Yeah, he's the 4-pointer I have settled on. Because I just like it's efficient, it's a 3 dice gun, he survives reasonably well with his ability. Seven Sisters great because either you get to jam and tractor people when they take stresses, or they go, I've bumped into you, I won't take the red focus because you'll just jam it away or tractor me, but then you're denying them mods, so it's win-win.
Seems legit.
Chris, do you want to run through his list?
Yeah, so we've got a rebel list. We have, this is Boy Han Solo. So he's got the, Chewbacca, Rick Cargo Shoot, the Falcon title, and L337's programming. So he's a broadside and focus evading, happy jappy Millennium Falcon with pretty much as many rerolls as you'll need or coordinates. And then we have a giant pile of A-Wings. We've got Tycho Selchu with Composure, Trick Shot, Heavy Laser Cannon, and Magpulse Warheads. Arvel with Crackshot and Predator. Keo Venzi with Crackshot and Cluster Missiles. And Derek Clivian with Marksmanship and Concussion Missiles. That's an interesting amount of target lock requiring missiles on the A-Wings.
Yeah, lock boost, coordinate from Han.
Yeah, true.
Tycho, take a lock, link it into a boost, fail the boost, take a focus with composure. Yeah. So obviously you can do actions while stressed, or 2 stresses, so yeah. We are playing salvage mission this evening. And we roll off, and I am first player. And I'm actually going to go through turn 0 as we do it this turn, because I've been trying to work on my turn 0. Certainly objective and rock placement. So I am first player, so I do the classic stick it range 2 in the middle from my edge, so that I'm guaranteed to be able to create a cluster somewhere.
Yeah.
Chris sticks it range 3 in his bottom right corner as he's looking at it. So I have a look to see if I can sneak it just in Chris's board edge on that side as close as possible, but I can't quite get it in. It can't quite dodge range 2 with the objective he's placed. So I go up over the other side as close to the centre as I can. As far up as I can. Which basically means wherever Chris puts it, there's going to be a reasonable cluster.
Yeah, there's either a cluster of 4 on Chris's side or a cluster of 4 on your side, essentially.
And he does. He goes on the right-hand side as he's looking at it. So I take a very large rock, and I place it 2.5, 2.5. Because I want to, with this one, obviously, with a large base ship, but with lots of A-Wings, they're manoeuvrable. But they don't have the turrets, and unless they're getting the locks, they're only 2 dice guns. And 3 of the 4 are lower initiative than all my ties.
Yeah.
So I thought here, what I want is I kind of want a messy in the middle board rather than lots of space, so that I can attempt to force Chris into channels. So limit the the maneuverability of the A-wings, basically. Force him to make limited choices on where he can go. So obviously by setting that one up 2.5, 2.5, he can't sneak anything in that corner. And actually, in hindsight, I could have done it 3 and 3 because he doesn't have small enough rocks to squeeze in. But
yeah, that's true.
Chris then places one between the center and the objective that I placed range 2 in the middle. And then, like an idiot, I pick up the rock I've just placed because it was right next.
I did wonder why you were. Why I was. Oh, has he gone backwards?
Yeah, no. I picked up that one because it was right next to the pile and I wasn't paying attention, so I quickly replaced that one. And then I place one basically in between the centre and the objective that Chris placed on the bottom right-hand side, on one side of the triangle there. Just trying to give myself space around those 3 so that Chris can't jam a load of rocks in there.
Yeah.
So that, if we do go at it one side or another, I've got space to manoeuvre.
Using the patented Sam Cooper technique of just place it randomly. Looks about right. No need to measure.
It wasn't random. It was in the middle on that right-hand side, which means pretty much the closest he can put one is probably next to the top objective. So, and again, it's creating a lane near that centre objective.
Yeah.
Chris goes for the tight on his just to the left of the centre objective. So we've got 3 little clusters down there, which I'm fine with. So I decide to give Chris the finger and place that at range 1 from the one he's just placed to the one I've just placed and down towards him to create another little triangle. And then Chris sneaks the moustache rock. Oh, he did have a small moustache rock just below the objective on his left, the bottom of the screen as we're looking at it. Which I'm okay with. We've got quite a cluster as we're looking at it to the bottom, my right, his left. And a lot of space to the top. So either we engage at the top and it's a joust, or we engage in that and he's channeled into where he's going. So
yeah, I think the joust favors. I think the channeling is a bit of a double-edged sword because Arvel quite likes a bumpy channel.
Yes, he does. But that's all depending on who Arvel bumps into.
That is true.
I mean, I get it's not perfect for me because obviously I need to keep Backstabber and Mauler together, but it means it's unlikely that Chris is getting all 4 A-wings on one target.
That is true.
So I place Feroff, and I place Feroff just to the right of the objective closest to my board edge in the centre. My plan there being, we'll see where Chris goes, but the likelihood is he'll one bank, pick up that crate turn 2, and then we'll go from there.
All makes sense.
Like he can't launch straight at me. There's a debris right in the way. There's the 2 debris just to either side of that and down, so he can't even sort of straight barrel roll fast straight to catch me like that. So I figured I'm reasonably safe. And then Chris chucks his A-wings down. And basically sticks Derek in the middle, Arvel to the right, 3 ship bases to the right, and Keo 2 ship bases to the left.
So it's interesting. I guess he's hedging basically because you've put Feroff down, and so Chris is basically like, well, I'm not sure where the rest of them's going, so we'll go in the middle, and the A-wings are fast enough that they could basically be wherever they want.
Yeah.
By turn 3, I would say.
So I put Gideon down on my left-hand side, basically directly below the objective there on the top of the screen, because that's where I'm going to set up the rest of my list and move Feroff towards them. And then I set up Backstabber and Mauler. I stick Mauler in behind Gideon, and Backstabber goes to the right of them, in sort of halfway up, so that he has got Mauler in his side arc. Tycho goes on Chris's far left, almost on the board edge. And then Vader just goes to the right of Backstabber. Specifically there, because I'm probably just going to do a 2 straight turn 1, see where Chris goes, and I want to make sure that a 2 straight barrel decloak to the right fails in case I fail Gideon's thing.
So my assumption is hand goes on the far right hand, Chris's far right in the top corner.
So he puts him down on the far right initially, then thinks about sticking him just to the left of Keo, and then opts to go back to the far right.
Yeah, because I like the far right better, because at least the way I read this is Chris's list can basically all turn to the left and start working its way down the bottom left and picking up boxes as it goes, and at least maintaining parity score-wise with you, and possibly getting a 3-2 advantage and try and make it so that you have to chase him.
Yes.
In theory. We'll see how it turns out. But like that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining they all start turning towards the right. One makes a bit of a dive into the center to try and sneak that box out from under you, and try and get 3-2.
Yeah.
Or at least try and spook you and trying to jump onto Faroth.
Yeah.
Because like a heavy laser cannon from Tycho is quite nasty, especially
when it can be double modded.
But we'll see what happens. Exactly.
But yeah, so before we get going, I'll just apologise. I did make the dice box I was talking about from last week, but not well. So what we've had to do is we'll roll dice on the table, but we've got a dice cam set up. It was just awkwardly positioned, so we couldn't actually roll into it. So we put the dice in it after we've rolled, most of the time.
Post mod as well, I assume.
Sorry?
Like after modifying as well?
Yeah. We mod it on the table and then just do the final result in.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that a couple of times, especially because I do Gideon's cloak, apparently I just put it down so fast that I leave my hand over it, so we'll just see my hand, but we'll be good. And we get into it. We don't do the road rolls because we can just keep track of that at the top, because I was good this week.
Good.
Just not on the turn counters.
Turn doesn't matter.
So, turn 1, Chris is first player. So it's all his 3s. And Keo does a 5 straight and takes an evade. A 5 straight from Derek and an evade. And a 2 straight from Arvel and a barrel roll to the left.
Okay, so that's not how I would have done it, but I like it. It's putting pressure on you. And at the very least, Arvel and Keo have pretty easy escape angles.
Yeah.
And even Derek can relatively easily get away.
Yeah. I don't really have a way of jumping on them, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends what you're doing turn 1. If you're screaming out the gates, then next turn there's some jump potential. But if you haven't called the 5 straights...
So, Faroth no ailerons are just a 1 bank and takes an evade. And Gideon does a 2 straight and cloaks. So then we go to Tycho, who does a 5 straight and just barrel rolls in and links it to a boost.
Gets stress, happy days.
Both my 5 ties do a 2 straight and focus. Hand does a 2 hard. And then
focus evade.
Focus evade. And then a 2 straight from Vader. And I take a lock just because there's mag pulses out there with jams and stuff. Might as well have one. yeah, and that's it. And I'm reasonably happy at this point. And I think that was my hand flashing while I rolled for Gideon and didn't have to decloak. I'm reasonably happy at this point because hands turned away. And because hands turned away, that kind of, I feel, frees me to turn in towards the centre where the A-wings are going to be.
Yeah.
The issue I have here is what I do with Feroff, and I don't know if it's a mistake or not. So I'll let you judge that when we get to it.
Yeah. So my initial gut is, I mean, the way I would play this, as Chris, is hand one straight, grab the crate. PO too hard to the left to grab the crate. I think that's it's Derek in the middle, isn't it? Too hard to the left, grab the crate, and Arvel. Too hard is a little tricky. Maybe like two banking, like basically trying to avoid, and then Tycho guns it for Feroff.
Yeah, I mean Tycho was always gunning it for Feroff.
Yeah,
I get that. So I'm thinking, if I do my one bank to the left, I can pick up the crate. Yeah, Tycho's gonna come in at me. But the other A-wings don't have a great opportunity to get in close. And sort of punish me.
Yeah.
But I also think if I sweep everyone in of the ties with a 3-bank, I can pick up some nice shots on them that they might not be expecting.
Yeah.
So we roll off turn 2, and I'm first player, which I actually wanted this turn, and this is why. So I go to Feroff. And our ailerons 1 bank to the right.
Okay.
And then I 3-bank in.
Yeah, no, I can see that. That's definitely not something I would have expected if I was Chris.
Well, that's what I was, try and catch it off. Smack in the middle. If he's gone fast, then he's going to bump. If he's turned away, then I'm fine. I'm kind of controlling the centre. Sorry,
you pick up the box though?
Just
focus.
That's
an evade.
It's an evade. I did spend a while umming and ahhing over it, but I thought if he has turned in, he's likely they'll have a focus. I won't get the ability. Yeah, they're only 2 dice, but you can plink through.
Yeah,
I felt the evade, and also all he's got to do is get a crit, and he's got he's got marksmanship. He's got the Magpulse warheads.
Yeah.
He's got crit generation. So I was like, no, I'll take the evade. So Derek does 2 hard left away. And he
grabs the box. Oh, he doesn't grab the box.
He doesn't grab the box, he boosts. Keo
that's why.
Does a 1 hard in. And then Chris is just looking to see if he's got arc. And he does, so he takes target lock. And then a 2 straight from Marvel. A boost. A partial boost.
Yep.
Because it's Arvel. And a focus. Because he meant to do it that way around.
Yep, that's just how it works. Focus boost.
Yeah, which gives him the stress. So I 7th Sister him.
And you barrel him.
And I barrel roll him to the right, which puts him range 1, not range 0.
And does Chris choose to rotate? Probably not.
I don't believe he does, no. We then go to my 4, who 3 banks in. And then barrel rolls away. Just trying to keep some distance from Han. A 3 bank from that is Backstabber. And I am and are about seeing if the Afterburners boost fits, but I don't think it does. So I don't risk it for a biscuit.
Yeah, I think that would be greedy. I think where you are right now, you're perfectly happy with the shot you've got.
So I do a 3 bank here with Mauler as well. And that's so close. I'm not sure I've got the side arc.
No, I think I would barrel roll to the left.
So I
And
do barrel
forwards.
roll to the left. I actually wonder if I should have afterburners left.
No, I don't think you do. I think barrel roll to the left is all you need to do. Because for me, the afterburners, like, okay, yeah, you get into backstabber's side arc, but you probably don't have a decent
Well,
shot
well, I
yourself.
thought here, and my thought at the time was if I afterburners to the left, if the arc misses, I should have space to then barrel roll in, which
Yeah, maybe.
which would probably line up bullseye, which would give me predator. So I'd have a mod. Um, and I'd have the side arc. I might not be in. Backstabber might not have side arc depending on where it is. But Mauler would definitely have side arc and a range one shot. If the one bank leaves the arc just catching it, and I don't looking at it now from the top down, I don't think it would. But my thoughts at the time is if it does catch it, I can take a focus.
Yeah.
But
For me, I would just take the barrel roll because that's just the safest option to get 2 3 dice guns.
yeah, and that's what I opt to do. I opt to do the barrel roll. And I think this might be a mistake. I think I should have done the boost on the barrel and then barrel roll in, and you'll see why in a second. So it goes to Tycho, who does I think a 3 straight, clears his stress, boosts and focuses to come around the back into the back of Feroth, and then Vader just does the one bank, and this is why I think I should have done the afterburners boost barrel roll with Mauler. Because if I line up Bullseye, I've got Predator. And Backstabber's got Vader range 1 in the side arc, so he doesn't need Mauler to be there.
Yeah, true. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm edging on the side of safety here. Is like I would, for at least for me, I would rather have the 2 afterburners charges for later because this is just a free shot. Like,
Yeah, I'm just thinking I'd have 2, maybe 3, depending on Vader, range 1 shots into a tractored A-Wing.
yeah,
And also, in hindsight, if I kill Arville with Vader and Backstabber, Mauler hasn't got anyone to shoot.
true.
Whereas being that closer would have had another A-Wing. But, I mean, it's one of those 50-50s, but...
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is a mistake. I think this is just a safer play because in the same token, let's say Backstabber and Vader kill Arvel, well then I would say then the mistake is you shot Backstabber first.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The hand does a 1 bank to the right.
Yeah, one bank to the right.
His arc is not really facing the right way.
It's side to side.
Not where. Yeah, not where I would want it.
And he takes his focus evade. Or technically evade and then gains the focus.
Yeah.
So we go to Vader. Vader is range 2. I don't Gideon this. I end up with hit, crit.
Ouch.
And I believe Arvel blanks.
Double ouch.
And the crit is a blinded pilot.
Fine, I guess.
Han has range 3 into either Mauler or Gideon. Goes into Mauler.
Yeah, makes sense.
For 2 hits. I'm going to slow this down because we are going way too fast. Gets 2 hits and I dodge both of them.
Oh, shame. Because if he'd managed to get that hit, could have coordinated Arvel.
Oh, do you think that's range 2?
I think it's close. And it's close, and it's also something I definitely would have measured for.
Yeah. So I do Backstabber next. And yeah, maybe I should have shot Mauler first.
I mean, you know Mauler has a shot back into Han if...
Yeah.
So it's neither here nor there, I think.
No bullseye, but it is range 1. I've got Vader, so I've got the extra dice. I have no idea what I'm umming and ahhing about over here. Oh, probably Gideoning. I think I decide not to Gideon. And I end up with 2 hits and 2 crits. And yeah, I've done that way too fast. I'll remember that for next time. 2 hits, 2 crits. and Arvor rolls blank focus and dies. And that is the last time I ever trigger Seventh Sister.
Do you at least spend the force at some point?
Oh yeah, I spent the force.
Okay.
But,
okay. I was like, well, that's fine then.
And then
I feel like that's more of a you suddenly reminded Chris that Seventh Sister exists, and then he started playing around it.
Yeah. So Mauler goes into Han at range 3, just the 2 dice, and rolls crit. And Han takes nothing.
Woo, double evade. I mean, he was not likely to take damage anyway.
Oh,
but...
no. So we go to his 5.
It's Tycho, isn't it? Is
Tycho.
this a trick shot heavy laser
he's
cannon?
looking for the trick shot heavy laser cannon. It is obstructed. He gets 3 hits.
That's not too bad.
It's range 3, and I am way too fast.
5 dice?
Yeah, I got 2 evades, so I take 1 damage.
That seems average.
Feroff goes into Han and ends up with 1 crit. I mean, Han's got an evade, so Han is fine.
Yeah. May as well re-roll it, though, just in case you get to keep it. Not that it mattered, but, you know.
And that is that.
I mean, do we not have a Keo shot?
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, sorry. Forget the Keo shot. Yeah, it's looking if he's got Feroff. There's me placing my evade down because it really doesn't matter what I roll. I've got an evade, I've got his ability. I think he just does primary, spends the lock, and ends up, I think, with 2. I think it's hit. It's either hit crit. Hit crit. 1 evade, so I take 1 shield.
Happy days.
And yeah, there we go.
And so it's 3 points to you because you've killed a ship.
Yes.
And if Derek doesn't pick up that box next round, I'm going to be disappointed, Chris. Because otherwise, what was the point in going this way?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess 1 hard focus boost around isn't bad either, but like, start ticking up them points. I mean, actually, now I said like maybe he does need all the A-wings to be shooting.
So yeah, there's my roll that nobody can see. And Chris telling me that I don't have to see it. I am forced to decloak in the planning phase. And ironically, I'm not sure I can fail it.
I don't think you can, no. Because this was this way where you asked me like if you have a blocked option but a free option you have to take it. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to take it.
Yes, you do. So yeah, I do the decloak before the planning phase, except I've already done the dials, and then probably change my dial because that
is the way this works.
That is the way it works. We roll off, and I am first player again. And Farrah stops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, either the ties the A-wings bump into me, or go in front, or are disengaging. So, the issue, though, actually in hindsight, is getting out of it.
I mean, I think Farrah can get out of it fine. You just accept that you're stressed next turn. You just do a speedy bank to the left, and accept that you're just not really participating. But like you speedy bank to the left, and then you blue move again and pick up a box.
Pick up a box, yeah. So Derek does a 1 hard and does pick up a box.
Good, I'm glad.
KO does a 3 bank, and this catches me badly off. I wasn't expecting this.
I like it.
Because I believe he boost in here.
Like you're either lock boost or focus boost here. You're either trying to concussion missiles or you're just trying to be annoying.
I believe you just boost because there's no stress.
Ooh. Spicy, spicy.
So Gideon does a one hard. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's me marking out. Does one hard to the left because I was not expecting that.
Ooh.
Three bank.
It's just in?
It's just in.
Nice.
The issue I have is he's just far enough up my base that I can't barrel roll.
Yeah.
Like, if he'd literally been a couple of millimeters to the left, then I squeeze a barrel roll in. And I know I'm taking a range one shot. I didn't overtune at that point because I wasn't expecting that A-wing to be there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense.
So, like, do I take a focus or do I cloak and get the extra dice?
I mean, I know it's my droid brain saying, but my gut says grab the box and rely on elusive and 3 greens.
Fair. See, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking I take elusive, focus, and 3 greens, or I take elusive and 5 greens. Bearing in mind he doesn't have a lock.
Yeah,
just
he only has the force mod.
Yeah,
and he has crack shot actually. So
he does have crack shot.
My gut would be grab the box, rely on elusive and 3 greens to save you.
So I'll remember that rely on 3 greens to save you with elusive. I take a cloak. Now I want to look at. No, I was right. So I don't know. So I do a 2 bank with backstabber, which puts me a little closer than I thought it would to a rock. Maybe the one hard actually squeezes in that next turn.
I think the one hard to the right will fit.
Yeah. The issue I have is from my angle on the table, Maul is doing a 3 straight. And I thought that might clip it.
I think you would be right.
And looking down, it's close. I can't barrel. I can't barrel to the right because Feroth's out the way.
I think there's no way Mauler lands, just because the combination of both Keo and backstabber.
Yeah, but it would still be a friendly bump.
Yeah.
So I opt. I think about it for a while. I opt to barrel roll to the left.
Okay.
I was just hoping that maybe I can get enough distance going forwards, and I can't. It's even more in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a clear bump, so I just bump technically into Gideon, but it's a friendly bump, and I don't take damage for it. But it's still not ideal.
This is making and then Feroth escapes by banking to the left look very silly now because there's now 4 ships in the way.
I mean, yeah.
But I wasn't to know that, so well.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So then Tycho bumps into the back of Feroth.
Yeah.
And opts not to take the red focus.
Yeah, because you know what? I would have.
Why? Just to
to
use the force the force spend.
Make you use the force and make you give me a range 1 shot.
Why? I wouldn't have tracted him.
If for whatever reason you decide to move me.
No, if he'd stress focus there, I would have jammed.
Yeah.
And we do talk it through, and he's like, "Well, there's no point," and I was like, "Well, you do, you do make the force spend, but
I do because Tycho don't care about being stressed.
Yeah,
and the fact that you would remove the stress, no, I would take it because not taking the focus, you still have the force. So take the focus, and if you, depending on how you react, like the force gets spent, and either I'm tracted and barrel rolled somewhere, maybe, or I'm jammed and I don't have a focus, but I'm not stressed.
Yeah. But he doesn't. And Vader does a 1 straight. And takes a target lock on him because he's right in front of you.
Because, if you had tracked him and not moved him, I guess this would be worse off. But like, it's not that like it's not that much worse off. Taika's already
I
kind
say
of
the
screwed.
thing is, I probably wouldn't have tractored him. Although actually,
Yeah.
in hindsight, I should have thought about where Vader was going and gone, yeah, no, maybe tractoring him is the better option. But Han does a 1 straight as well, and does his focus evade.
Yeah.
So we do Vader, range 1 into Tycho. I roll. I spend a force, and I end up with hit, crit, crit. Because my dice liked crits this game.
Yeah.
And Chris ends up with 2 evades, so takes 2 shields.
Okay.
Han, I think, goes into Vader. Let's just see. I think he ums and ahs about. Oh no! Is this the? No, it's not this one. Who does he end up going with? Oh, who did? Oh, I'm guessing Han shot and blanked because whiffed because then we wouldn't have put it on. So this I think is Mauler going into Han, obstructed range 2, for 2 hits, and Han ends up with 1 evade, so takes a shield. Mauler does the range 1 into Keo. I look to see if I've got Vader. No such luck, so just the 3 dice. I Gideon it, and I strain Backstabber.
Yep, makes sense. Backstabber's pretty safe.
I end up with crit crit.
I mean, actually, I say he's pretty safe, but Taika might have a bullseye.
And that was very fast from Chris. Chris
that
takes
like
1.
2 evades.
Yeah, 2
evades. Oh, takes 1, does he?
Yeah, so 1 evade takes 1. Then we go to Tycho, who just misses the bullseye onto Backstabber. So range 1's into Vader for 1 hit. Vader blanks, so takes a damage.
All right. So far, both players' green dice are not doing too great.
We checked.
Chris is starting to pick up, but hey.
We checked to see if Felf has got Keo, and it's damn close, but we believe he just catches the corner. Range 2 in arc. I Gideon that one as well, and I strain Vader. Because at that point I figured no one's shooting him, so...
Yeah. Makes sense.
I spend a force for 1 hit, and Keo rolls 2 evades.
Like 2 evades, yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Kind of hoping to do a bit more to Tycho, but that's the way it is sometimes.
I mean, 4 on 3, like... He rolled slightly above average to get the 2 evades, right?
Yeah, only slightly.
Yeah.
But it's with the 2 hull, if you can sneak that 1 crit through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. And Chris scores a point because he's picked up a box.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Like, it's a bit of a scrum.
Yeah.
And whilst I understand why Han banked in to get shots, I'm not sure I like his positioning. But I guess the thing is, you can't really capitalize on Han entering the scrum at the minute because your ties are a bit
screwed,
off kilter, should I say?
Yeah,
they're all, yeah.
So this is Keo, I think, going into Mauler. And rolls hit crit.
Lovely.
And oh no, sorry, goes into Gideon because it's range 1.
Right, because you fit. Yeah, makes sense.
So remember that? I'd lean on 3 greens and elusive to save me.
Yeah, I can see the 2 blanks, 2 focuses. You re-rolled something that's a blank.
So I rolled 3 blanks and 2 focuses. I elusive the blank into another blank. And Gideon dies.
So, yeah, that happens sometimes.
6 dice, technically. Not a single evade. Vader, 3 dice. Not a single bit of pain.
All right, well, fine. Then you're one bad roll up on Chris.
You were,
Because
yeah.
Arvel had 2 full blanks.
To be fair, though, Arvel was tracked at both of those. So down a dice.
It's still 2, like, full blanks.
And I'm sure he had focuses in there.
Yeah. I mean, you had focuses in there.
Well, not in that one, I didn't.
You had 2 focuses and 3 blanks.
Yeah, no. My point is, like, one of the shots, Arvel must have spent a focus because he had a focus. So. Yeah, so that was KO, and that is, I think, the last shot. So a point to Chris. All right.
Like, I'm pretty sure Arvel just died with his focus, but
Oh well, I'm sure he did.
because he took 3 damage off Vader's shot, that put the blinded pilot on him, and then he just died.
Maybe Chris opted not to spend because it was above and beyond. So
Yeah. But either way, like, Vader's had a bit of a whiff, and Moff Gideon whiffed, but 'tis the curse of ties.
yes, it is. That's why I'm still umming and ahhing about whether I fly this list or the Scepters list that can take a bit more of a pounding when I cock up. Well, not even when I cock up. When the dice don't go my way. And dice are dice, they go both. Like, I'll freely admit in this game, my reds have been hot. You know.
Yeah.
Hot reds, but below average greens, and dice are like that. We roll off, and I am first player again for, I don't know, I think about turn 4 now. Feroff does a 1 bank to the left. I thought this would clip a rock, and if not, I thought it would go into Backstabber, but it doesn't. It fits.
Woo!
Which I was a little surprised about. So I'm like, now I've actually got to think about what action I'm going to do, because I wasn't expecting to get one.
Coordinate.
No. I think I do the right action. I pick the wrong
Or jam,
turn.
yeah.
I jam.
I was thinking jam Han.
Well, I was jamming. I was going to jam Keo in case Keo decided to take a focus boost round to catch Backstabber, like a 1 hard boost.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I should have jammed Han, because at least then he can do his evade focus. He'll still get the focus, but he's not getting the evade. He's not getting the re-rolls from the evade.
Yeah, and that's the important bit.
Yeah, and that's what I should have done. But I don't. I jam Keo. A 2 hard from Derek. And I believe he just takes a focus.
Yep.
Keo does a sloop, so my jam's looking stupid.
Yes, yes and no. Like, jamming anyone was good. Like, I think jam is the correct action there. Like, because had Keo not done because you can't tell that Keo's going to do a sloop.
Yeah.
I think jamming Keo is fine because she has clusters. If she turns in and gets some clusters into your ties, like, she's already nuked 1, she could quite happily nuke another.
Yeah, but I do just think Han would have been the better choice.
Yes,
hindsight.
I think Han would have been the better choice, but I think Keo is not a bad one.
No. So my 5s, I do a 2 hard from Mauler. And I go for the focus, and I forget to use the big ones. I actually wonder if I should have barrel rolled in here in front of Ferret or behind Feroff.
Because I don't know where Vader's going. Like, if it doesn't block Vader, it's not a bad idea, but then
Vader's 1 banking to the right and going after Derek.
Okay. Maybe okay, but if Tycho bumps into Mauler, then Vader's feeling a little bit sad. Maybe.
I think that's still clear. And it also would have moved me further away from Keo's arc. Because, alright, she's sloop, but he's sloop, but he's still got the force, so...
Yeah.
But I don't.
Force and crack shot.
I do a 4K with Backstabber. And then Afterburners boost to the right, down towards KO. I was hoping maybe I line up the bullseye, but it just gets it a bit closer. And like next turn, I'm thinking 2 bank to the left puts me right near that objective if I want to pick it up.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep on my objective Andy thing. I think the K turn mistake. You should just picked up that objective.
I did think about it. I
think that would have been the play, because right now it's a low scoring game. It could spiral out of control, but Chris is ticking up 1 point a turn.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Tycho could get killed. The A-wings could pop at any moment when Vader shoots them. But I think you want to match the tick at the very least.
So I very, 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 very nearly 3-straighted.
Yeah.
Afterburner boost to the right, which puts me probably almost where I am, maybe just as we're looking at it, a bit to the right and a bit down.
Yeah.
And then pick up the crate.
Yeah, I would have wanted to see that, because then you're probably behind Vader. You're probably behind Han. You're probably quite safe. You can turn in and start shooting again.
Yeah. Well, and that was my first thought, and maybe that is the gut one I should have gone to.
Because, like, I don't know, it's easy to criticize for me because I'm not in the moment, but like at this point, your golden duo have split up.
Yeah.
So they're just academy pilots who happen to be O5 right now.
Backstabber is Mauler's still got
Mauler,
Vader.
Okay, Mauler's still got Vader around. But like you said, Vader's about to 1 bank to the right, so Mauler doesn't have Vader around.
Yeah, it was if he barrel rolled, he would have.
Oh, if he barreled, yeah, okay.
But hey,
is it just side arc? I thought
it's side arc.
So then Vader's gonna be in front of
maybe Mauler. Depends on the angle, because he's at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Tycho does a 2 bank and bumps and goes into Mauler.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Interestingly, just harking back to if I had barrel rolled, I think that Tycho clears and goes far enough forward that he doesn't have Feroff in arc.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, that's the power of hindsight.
Yeah,
obviously, but it's just interesting to look at. And then Vader does a 1 bank and takes a target lock onto Derek.
Yep, makes sense.
And Han does a 2 hard, which bumps into the back of Feroff.
Nice.
And he's umming and ahhing here, I think, about the red focus.
Do it. Make you spend the force.
He does not.
You'll jam it.
He does not take the red focus. So Vader does range 1 into Derek. I spend some Vader force and marksmanship. And
you roll the dice and then change them all to whatever you want them to be.
I spent 2 force, so I'm guessing I rolled something along the lines of hit, crit, focus, blank. But I end up with two hits, 2 crits. Derek gets 3 evades.
Okay, but he's dropping the box.
But he's dropping the box. Oh, do I not make him drop the box? I don't.
Cheating!
I don't make it. He doesn't drop the box.
Cheating at clock.
That's a good point. I mean, that's on me as much as Chris.
Yeah,
I forgot to. Yeah, still suffers the crit. That's irritating.
Let's. I'm going to start counting how many points Derek gets illegally.
It's a few. It's a few. Oh wow, that's actually, I don't think it is a few, but all right, yeah, must remember that. So this is, I believe, Han.
Range 1 into Vader.
I don't think he does.
I see no reason not to, but hey, that's me.
Trying to wait.
He might be trying to clip off the ties.
I think he goes 2 obstructed into backstabber. I'm pretty sure he goes 2 obstructed into backstabber. He ends up with hit crit. I'm strained, so I'm down a dice. I roll blank focus.
Lovely.
Do you want to guess what the crit might have been?
It's direct hit, isn't it?
Of course, it's a
you've killed him.
hit. So that's backstabber dead from a below average dice roll.
Yeah. You know what? You need to change your mindset about your 4 health ships. Is that you should actually just start expecting them to die.
It's not that I don't expect them to die, but hit crit with 3 health. Odds should be I get 1 of 8.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. I wonder if my perspective is skewed because I've just seen so many vultures and tri fighters just implode that I no longer I see 3 greens as a luxury and just like if I'm taking a shot and I have no defensive mod, then I just should expect to die.
But it's like, they always talk about the tyranny of three
Yes,
greens.
the tyranny of 3 greens always works when you're not rolling them.
Yeah, I know.
Because and I think this is like it's a bit of a bias thing, is because when you're fighting 3 greens, you will always remember the times they blank your shot.
Yeah.
And when you're rolling 3 greens, you always remember the times you blank out. And I admit, you've been on a bit of an unlucky streak. But one day you'll go into that game where like you just don't take damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's just...
I think I have little sympathy for blankouts because whilst you were playing this game, I was playing Snappy and just watching vultures implode. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, on average, vultures should implode, but it was like, oh, 2 blanks, he's dead. Oh, 2 blanks, he's dead.
But I would argue that A, you get so many more of them and lose less points.
Oh yeah, no, true. It's not the same thing.
And B, 2 greens versus 3 greens does change the odds.
It does. But a lot of your 3 greens are unmodded.
Yeah, and I get that. And but I mean, I shouldn't. I don't feel
you're talking to someone who ran 5 tri-fighters trying to rely on the power of 3 greens. It doesn't work.
I just feel in that case that
you got unlucky.
Yeah,
I get unlucky rolls. Yeah.
And I don't think that although as we discussed there were better options, I don't think my maneuver choices were the reason why he died.
Oh no. So I don't think your maneuver choices were the reason why. And if I were Chris, I wouldn't have taken that shot.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's a good shot. I'm not quite sure why Chris took it, to be honest.
I don't know.
Because I don't think there was any reason to expect Backstabber to die.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this sort of thing is the stuff that sticks in your mind, because it's like it's the unexpected shot. He only rolled hit crit, and you had 3 dice.
Yeah.
So any pains and you live, and it's just unfortunate this was the case. Now, do I think that you should have just not K-turned? Yes.
Interestingly, if I'd not K-turned, done the 3 straight, and afterburner boost and picked up the crate, I still would have been in Hands Arc.
But you would not have been strained.
That is true. And we'll never know how that one went. So Chris spends a solo charge off that to coordinate Tycho a focus.
And does Tycho boost off his focus?
Well, that's interesting. I've just thought about this now. Actually, no, I know why he does it. Because I think he was thinking about taking a target lock, going for the boost, failing the boost, getting the focus from composure. But then I would have just jammed him.
Yeah.
Or tractored him. Plonked him in front of Mauler if he'd fit. But hey.
This is why Han should have taken that red focus.
Yeah. And funnily enough, he does say at that point, I wish I'd taken the red focus.
Yeah, so here's my take on Seventh Sister, is if you have a ship that you think could do it and isn't going to be that badly affected by it, always do it. Because, like, especially on hand, like, take the red focus. What do you want to do? Jam me your tractor me. The tractor does nothing. The jam just leaves me in the exact same situation I would have been if I hadn't taken the red focus.
Yeah. So we go to the 5s, and Mauler has a range, I think, 3 shot onto Derek, and rolls nothing. Tycho goes, I think, range 1 into Ferof. He spends his focus for 2 hits. It's an evade because of Ferof's ability, so I take the other shield.
With Ferof, you can't complain about dice. You're always rolling evades on that boy.
until they have focuses.
Shush. The enemy never has green tokens.
So then we scoot down to the threes. Feroff has a shot into Keo and spends a force for 2 hits. And Keo rolls 1 evade.
Okay, Keo takes damage. Here we go.
And then his threes return fire. Yeah.
He's into Vader. Please tell me that's into Vader.
So I believe this is Derek range 1 into Vader. With like no mods. 3 crits.
Well, he spent something. He had a green token next to Derek a second ago.
What do you want to bet Vader rolled?
It's 3 blanks, isn't it?
Of course it's 3 blanks.
Yeah.
So shield, crit. The crit was a stunned pilot.
Not the end of the world. Why are you rolling over rocks then, Sean? Okay, no, you say no mods. Derek definitely spent his focus there.
All right,
and
fine.
marksmanship for the 3rd crit.
All right, fine. I forgot he had a focus.
So we're wrong.
So.
2 crits is not not particularly likely, but is it wasn't unmodded.
But again, Vader, who has the Force, always.
Yeah.
Blank.
Sean, you fly Jedi.
I forget to regen my Force from hate. Because
you get it back in a second.
No. I've just flipped one.
Oh, God.
But luckily we remember in a second because I'm like, hang on, I took a shitload of damage last turn, right? He's like, yeah, so I should be at full force. But I've shed tons of ships, and I'm now 9-3 behind because Chris picked up another point from.
Did Keo not shoot?
I'm guessing not, or whiffed. Sorry, we're going through.
Either way, it didn't develop on the dice box. So Chris has 1 illegal point, so it's actually 8-3.
I mean, the illegal points don't make a difference.
I'm going to count them anyway, just to make a point.
Fair.
But you should remember your win conditions. And
following the rules.
No, yeah, following the rules, and remember when you do something that causes a problem for your opponent, like making them drop a box, that Vader could potentially pick up and escape and preserve some points.
So we roll off, and Chris is first player, and Keo does a 3 straight, which bumps into Mauler, and he doesn't take the red focus.
Yep, makes sense.
Derek does a 5 straight, which jumps over Vader. And he... What does he do? I think he just takes a focus, yeah. Feroff does a 1 sloop to the right. I had considered, if I'd been first player, I think I would have ailerons 1 slooped to the right. Yeah. But because of where KO's ended up, I'm quite happy to keep it in a bit tighter. Derek does a 3 bank, which goes into Feroff. And he opts not to take the red focus. Oh no, hang on. He does, doesn't he? He does take the red focus, and I'm umming and ahhing what to do here. I'm umming and ahhing whether to tractor him or whether to jam him.
I'd jam him.
I don't. I tractor.
Why is he? Who is shooting him?
Why has he not got a focus? Oh no, no. Why has he not got?
And I mean, there's a great big blank white circle there. No. You can't actually see what's on it.
That's a tractor. I know that's a tractor because we and ah about it. Maybe he just hasn't put the focus down yet. Because we have an hour about what to do, what's better, because it's range 0.
Yeah.
And he can't mod. So, but giving the tractor, means his defense against my range 0 is worse.
Yeah.
Because he's at 2, not 3. Yeah. I attempted to barrel roll him to the right just to see if it would fit, so we were range 1, but there was a rock in the way, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, I think I lean towards jamming because then Feroff's ability is online.
True.
And if there's one thing you should have learned about your dice today, Sean, is that you can't rely on just rolling dice. You need to have automatic evades.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. Mauler does a 1 hard to the right, left, sorry, which bumps into Derek, and I take the red focus because Chaos sat behind me. Han does a 1 straight, which I think bumps into Mauler. And he does take the red focus because I've obviously fair-offed. And I do a 3 Talon with Vader. And the reason I Taloned instead of K-turning is because I wasn't sure if Derek was just going to hard turn to the left.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I get that. Talon gives me... I think it... I was hoping, and I think I'm right, that an Afterburners boost either way would...
Chase after Derek.
Chase after Derek. So I Afterburner boost in to get the range 1 shot into him. So Han goes into somebody that I think Vader that I dodged. Vader range 1s into Derek. I'm forced to spend the target lock, but I still end up with 1 hit, 3 crits.
Oh no, you had to spend a mod.
And Derek rolls 2 evades. The crits are direct, so I place the objective, and then Chris moves it, going, "Do you want to place this?" I just did, but sure. So
making it 6-9 on the score, but it's 6-8 secretly.
Yeah, he doesn't have a focus because I fair-offed. So, all right. Not sure what that was. Oh, no, I know what it was. I'm a numpty. He tried to sloop.
Oh,
Is
okay.
what it was. He tried to sloop, which is why he had the stress but no focus and why I attracted him.
Fair. That's all right, then.
So he rolls 2 hits, range 0. Fair off is fair off, so it's an evade. So I take 1. Then I have a range 0 from... Mauler into Han. I roll hit crit.
Nice.
What have I changed it? Oh, I must have. It is hit crit. Han rolls blanks, takes 2 shields. We then go to the 3s, and it's Keo.
Should be Keo first into the back of Mauler. Looks like not a whole lot happened.
I forgot to put that one in the dice box. So he rolls hit crit.
And crack shotted it.
I rolled 1 evade, 2 blanks with my focus token. He crack shots. So I take hit crit, and it's, I believe, a fuel leak. And then fair off range 0s. Do I range 0 or do I go into Han? I can't remember.
Looks like you put a fuel leak onto Tycho because he's on 1 health.
Yeah, so I range 0 into Tycho and must have got a crit through for a fuel leak. And spoilers, the game ends next turn. Although it's 9.
I can't actually remember how it ends.
It's not.
This is like super close.
It's 9-6 at the moment. Although it should be 9-8. But hey, that's on me.
6-8.
6-8, yeah, sorry, 6-8.
Like, this game's on a knife edge. Like, Keo and Tycho almost dying. Han's probably not dying, but sure.
Yeah, no. But if I can nuke some A-Wings... Although the problem is I don't really have a great way of getting Tycho.
I mean, all you need to do is kill Keo and not die, right?
Would keep us even.
And then Mauler picks up a box.
Yeah, the problem I have is Mauler's stressed, has Keo behind him, and is on 2 health with a fuel leak. Yeah. So I was concerned about keeping him alive. Keo does I think it's a 4 straight. Looking at that, 4 straight, 3 straight.
Okay. That looks like 3 straight.
And spoilers, that's the move that wins Chris the game.
Oh, is that blocking Vader?
Chris, he picks up the box.
Okay.
Feroff attempts a 1 bank, doesn't clear. Like, I had no stress relieving maneuvers that.
Yeah.
That was the only one that even had a chance of clearing. The straights just bump either him or the Falcon. And I can't 1 bank to the left because there's a rock in the way.
Yeah.
So I stay there and I take the red focus. Tycho 3 banks over me and picks up the box. I do a 3 bank with Mauler.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Why unfortunate?
Because like at least in my head, like I was like, oh, it looks like you're going to 3 bank away and maybe grab the box that's behind you. But unfortunately, Keo grabbed the one that you could grab.
I'm still stressed anyway. But I afterburners boost away.
Okay.
I was just more keep him alive. I thought Chris would go for the trying to kill Vader and Mauler because they're both on 2 health. I wasn't expecting the mass box pickup.
Yeah, but no, I like it because this basically forces the issue. Like before, if he goes for the fight, Vader might just lose the fight. But like this, even if Vader kills one of the A-wings, the other A-wing wins the game.
Yeah.
Unless you manage to kill Tycho, and then it's a tie.
Which is why I'd gone with the bank afterburners boost, because I figured Tycho was going up there somewhere. Maybe I get arc on him. Han does a 1 straight and does his focus evade. Vader 1 banks. So it would have cleared. It would have cleared. So I'm reasonably happy with that because I actually I stick Vader over just to have a look. You go, yeah, he would have cleared, but he bumps, and we take our time because this is so fucking close. There's like 0.5 mil on it, but he ends up on the debris, and I call it there because what's the point? Vader's not shooting, taking 1 damage from the stunned pilot, and then takes a shot from Han.
Yeah,
and that's game.
That is a game indeed.
So.
Like, but this game is so close, so I don't know how to rate this because this literally, if you have slightly better dice odds, I think you're fine. If Chris has slightly better dice odds, he's fine.
I think if Gideon survived, then I've got this because he's still around to neuter the defense.
Yeah,
and I think there'd be at least 1 more A-wing dead.
Yeah.
If not,
I mean, heck, Tycho almost died.
I say, if not, possibly both of them.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. To me, your ties getting in a jumble is what cost you this game.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think that's the mistake to focus on. Like, as in, because the ties having to basically discombobulate and then start shooting different targets, and then Mauler and Backstabber split up, and and they stop sort of doing their like tie-bro thing.
What I should have done was not barrel rolled Backstabber and just left him there.
Yeah,
because as I say, I think I could have squeezed the 1 hard in, and okay. Mauler would have bumped into him, but Mauler bumped into him anyway. At least it's, he does a 1 hard next turn and Mauler does a 2 straight, and they're back range 1 next to each other, pointing roughly the same direction.
Yeah, because I think that's what cost you. Because if your 2 ties are and the I5 3 dice gun that they're good at being, like the A-wings have to be a lot more scared that they might just die.
Yeah.
And I think like the barrel rolling just cost you a lot. And I think back to the Gideon thing. I know I said cloak and rely on the 3 greens of elusive. Sorry, not cloak. So pick up the box and rely on 3 greens of elusive, and you went for the cloak to rely on 5 greens. I mean, I think we're probably both wrong, and I think just picking up the damn focus token is the correct
Probably
play.
the correct play. Because actually, yeah, focus with elusive.
Yeah, focus with elusive, you probably live. I think you probably live.
Yeah.
And if you don't live, then you have something to complain about. But like,
And hell, actually, where he was, survive that round,
yeah,
pop, overtune next turn and K turn.
yeah.
Like, but yeah. Oh well.
Like I think the fact that this is so close and that Han is basically untouched, I think says a lot.
It's interesting actually because at the time it didn't feel this close.
But like it really is.
Oh, no, and in hindsight,
Yeah.
going back and looking at it, going, hang on, I was still only all right. We called it. Vader probably dies, because he will. So that'll be another 6. So and then Chris has picked up boxes, so you'd be at like 17, 18 to 6. But also, if I'd not screwed Gideon and my ties in that thing, and Gideon was alive, Keo probably isn't, which means you can't block Vader.
Yeah.
And so on and so, it goes completely different. But at the time, all I see is just 3 blanks, 3 blanks, 3 blanks, 2 focuses, and a blank.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing to get away from is either desensitize yourself to your greens or try to remember like the because it feels worse because the ships are dying because of it because they have so little health.
Yeah.
Whereas when you roll on Django and you roll 2 blanks and 2 blanks and 2 blanks, you're like, oh darn, I've taken 6 damage, but I'm still here, I'm still Django, I can still win, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's something to take away because like Chris's green dice picked up later, but he had a terrible opener.
Yeah.
Like his Arvel was like,
but also
absolutely well played by you.
A lot of Chris's, not all, but a lot of Chris's bad dice were due to Gideon.
Yeah,
because it compounds that by not being able to mod.
Whereas your bad dice was you just chose not to take mods. Or Vader just decided he didn't want to use mods. He couldn't roll focuses.
Well, yeah. I mean, Vader always does that though. He's got the Force, so he's constantly got a mod, and he just never does. It's like, but he does. I know it's just the perception of it.
I mean, because realistically, it was what, 1 roll. Like you got shot once, you had a bad roll. That was it.
On Vader.
Yeah.
Vader rolled.
Right?
Vader rolled 2 lots of triple blanks.
Yeah, because he took 1 damage off the first one and 3 off the second.
Yeah.
Right.
No, admittedly, he only took 1 damage off the first one, but it was still.
Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying. Hang on. So, what did 3 dice and a? Why can't I add Force? That would be really helpful.
Are you doing dice stats?
I am doing that. I'm just curious on the defense what the difference would have been, but I can't seem to add Force, which is slightly irritating. I don't want to use Focus because it's not.
Are you on Gate of Storms?
Yeah.
You can add Force.
Where's Force? Attack 1, 3 dice. Focus.
Yeah, on the right. Yeah, and on the right hand side, defense dice, tokens, ship, lock, force, max force.
Yeah, but it's not defense, is it? I'm looking at the attack.
Then ship, lock, force.
Isn't that defense?
That's the attack one, right? So that's the attack dice, and then the defense dice on the right hand side.
Yeah, no. On the left, I don't have a tokens. I have.
Oh, really?
I have. So it says attack 1, 3 dice, focus, lock underneath, then obstructions and range bonuses, then bonus attack.
Oh, I have way more.
Hang on. All right, that's fine. I went to advanced calculator and it's there.
Okay, I was like, what?
So three dice with a Force, which is what Keo had, against 3 dice with a Focus. Expected hits. 3 hits expected is like 16%. There's a 60% I don't take anything.
Yeah.
So let's look at. Well, let's look at the 3 hits, because that's what was needed to kill me. So 16% on 3 dice with a focus. 5 dice with... Actually, hang on, it would have been a focus and a bloody reroll, wouldn't it? So let's do it properly, because I'm curious, and we can run through this quickly together.
Who's this for?
So Gideon, 3 dice with a focus and elusive.
You didn't have a focus, though, did you?
No, but that's what I'm saying. If I'd taken a focus...
Oh, right.
So he had 3 dice and a focus and elusive.
Yeah.
And the attacker's got 3 dice and the force. The odds of getting 3 hits, which is what you need, is 6%.
Yeah.
If I go 5 dice with elusive and no focus, the odds of getting 3 hits is 18%. Okay, so that is interesting.
Green dice are bad.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. You look at that. That's a 1 in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll admit that's a shock. I mean,
this is the thing about dice stats is it's very easy. It's very easy to hear someone say that evade focus blank is the average result, and then you think, well, if I add 2 more dice, then I should still get 1 evade, but. When people say the average result, they mean that 1 in 5 times you will roll that.
Yeah.
So 4 out of 5 times you'll roll worse, like better or worse. But like,
I do know for a fact triple blanks is 5%.
Yeah.
So 1 in 20. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, I honestly thought it would be less, and I certainly didn't think it would be 3 times more likely to.
So I figured 3 dice with a focus would be a lot more better defense, because then you just have a lot less fail option, because 5 dice where focuses are effectively blanks means that how many faces of evade on a green dice is 2, right?
I thought it was 3.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's 3. But I know there's like 1 more blank essentially.
Yeah, I thought it was 3. Is it 3 evades, 3 focuses, and 2 blanks?
I think it's 3, 2, 3.
Okay, yeah. Because I like my dice.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly is a. Well, that's my
There's
takeaway from this.
Math.
Yeah.
Focus tokens are good.
Actually, and ironically, there's with 3 dice, a focus and elusive. There's a 10% higher chance that you take nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. That is interesting. Well, there we go. That's a good note to end it on. My shock.
Yeah. And another thing to end is that I guess what you instinctively think as better might not always be the case. Yeah. And when you have a reaction, it's okay to react badly to rolling crap on 5 dice, because it sucks. Because everyone knows the average you should get 1. But unless they were all blank, then you probably could have taken a better action to do it. And Gideon had 2 focuses.
Yeah. And would have lived.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is though, it's the classic, isn't it? Well, would he have had 2 focuses if he? I mean, if he had a focus?
Yeah, obviously, we can go into this million thing, but you are more like.
No, we've just proved you're more likely to survive it. So.
But basically, the point is, having a focus makes it 5 out of 8. You have a result rather than 3 out of 8.
Yeah, and I suppose with elusive as well. What if one of them is, even if all 3 of them is blanks, that reroll then has a 5 out of 8, not a 3 out of 8 to help you. So, and then pop, not contraband, overtuned, K-turn, get elusive back straight away.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Right, we will wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to our random side rant about dice. Remember, no matter how bad it feels, I guarantee it's not as often as you think.
Yeah. You just remember the bad times.
Yeah.
And on that note, we will say goodbye. So see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week for more random stuff.